Hi, this is Gary with MacMost.com. On today's episode, let's take a look at the Flyover feature of Apple Maps. So Flyover is a feature of the Apple Maps app. You can find that in your dock, and if you don't find it there, you can look in the Applications folder. And then to bring up Flyover, you've got to go to a city that has Flyover enabled. So they've put together a Flyover animation. Not all cities have it. And to find out if yours does or one that you're going to visit does, type in the name of the city like this. Don't select any suggestions or favorites or anything like that. Just type in the name of the city and it'll bring up the city here, and then you'll notice at the bottom of the screen it says 3D Flyover Tour of Denver with a start button. If you don't see that appear, you may want to try to make sure you've got the city typed in the most generic form possible, like Paris, France, or San Francisco, California, that kind of thing. I'll find out if you include things like the zip code or something more specific, sometimes it doesn't appear. And if you still don't see it, it's probably just because there is no Flyover tour of that particular city. Now the Flyover button will go away if you click on anything or do any other action. You can get it back by selecting the city if the pin is still there, clicking the eye, and you can see a Flyover Tour button here. So either way you do it, when you initiate Flyover, it will switch to 3D satellite view and start moving around. You'll see it says 3D Flyover Tour there with an end button right next to it. And you can just watch it. Notice that it will actually tell you what you're seeing. So it'll just put something like downtown, or it'll tell you the name of a particular building as it continues to fly around and give you an overview of the city that you're looking at. At any time you can actually click and take over what's going on there. So I've grabbed the screen there. It kind of pauses Flyover and I can move around or just hold that image to look. And if I release, it quickly resumes the tour. So you can see here it's going to zoom in on the Art Museum building and it will label it down here. And I click end and it will zoom to the end position for the Flyover, which is usually a city overview like this. It's a lot of fun to use for trip planning and to just get an overview of a city. And you can find that most of the major cities of the world now have Flyover enabled. And notice that the 3D views they're made from basically aerial photography of the city at different angles, and then that's used to computer generate a 3D map. So then you can look around. So I can grab here and you can see I can look on either side of the Eiffel Tower, and it has the texture for this 3D model based on the 3D Flyover images. You also have Flyover in the Maps app in iOS 8, of course, and you basically do it the same way. It just looks a little bit different. So you can go to it and you can see it says 3D Flyover Tour at the top with a start button. But other than that, it works pretty much the same. And you can kind of take control over it if you tap and hold and then release, and it will resume the Flyover.